Hello everybody, Matthew here, or Samurai Hex, as if you go by more internet terms. And this is a new series that has recently come across that I thought I'd do it. You know what it is if you've read the title and all that. But yeah, I have autism. I have had it all my life because you're born with it. Although what other people say that it's caused by vaccines or anything, that's just untrue. But I thought I'd do this series where I record me. I was going to record face cam, but I couldn't somehow get it up on OBS for some reason through my internal face cam thing on my laptop. But I thought this would be a series where it's just me talking to you about autism and what my experience is having it. Now I'll try and make it as unedited as possible. So expect very long videos or cut up videos into parts. I'd only really edit anything out if, say, I get a phone call or someone comes knocking on my door seeing if I'm okay or something, or what I'm doing or something like that. So yeah, let's go right into it. So I think I was diagnosed with autism at something like 11 or 12. And it wasn't that. It was a shock, but also not a shock for my parents. They had an idea that I might be autistic because I was always having problems at school and in public places, all that stuff, meltdowns, that sort of thing. That's what's the meltdown is what is equivalent to like a major part of an autistic person's happening. Something bad happening and they just completely, lose control of the plot in different ways, many ways. But yeah, so I've had autism all my life, but I've been recognised as autistic since like 11, 12 or even 13. I completely forgot. But I thought this series could be just me explaining all different aspects of what it's like living with autism, just give some people a bit more understanding of what autism is and autism awareness and all that stuff. So, I thought this first video could be on a trip that I recently went to. I went on a coach trip. It's the first time I've ever done one with my parents to a place called Whitby. Now, if you don't know where Whitby is, it's in England, because I live in England. I think it's the coast of Yorkshire. It's a beautiful place, at least from what it looked like it was. But yeah, we went there. It was the first time I was ever on a coach. First time I was ever doing anything of the sort in terms of travelling, not by car but by coach. I've travelled on coach before, but only to football matches when I was supporting my football club. Back in the day, when I was really young, before it didn't really come to me that the noise was overwhelming too much, and I'll probably talk about that later in a video. But the Whitby trip, I enjoyed it, but there were some things that kind of got me a bit iffy, so to speak. Now the first thing that happened was that we woke up at 5:30 a.m. Now, I'm really lazy. Easiest way to put it, possibly, is that I wake up I wake up at 8 o'clock with my alarm goes on and I just sleep through it until my mum or my dad come in and just switch it off. And I don't wake up till like 10, 11 sometimes in the day, or even 1 o'clock at once. But we woke up early. I woke up personally at 10 to 5 in the morning. And we went to McDonald's, had a breakfast. That was all good and good, okay. And then we went on the coach trip. Then we went on a taxi to the coach at the bus station, and yeah, we entered there, and we entered, and the seats were horrific. Now, the easiest place to put it is I'm not the smallest of people. I have a big stomach. Yeah, I have a big stomach, and I'm quite big in terms of my parents' size. My mum is so tiny, and my dad's quite thin in a way. Knock off his beer belly and all that, if he lets me say that. But yeah, we did all that. We went to we stopped. So we started in Derby, which is where I live. Then we went to Nottingham and picked people up there. Picked people up in Mansfield and picked up somewhere else in the Nottinghamshire area between Mansfield and Nottingham. So that happened, but the coach ride was, well, a bit annoying, really. Like I said, I'm not the smallest of people, so I could barely get the seatbelt over my stomach and into the seatbelt slot or whatever they call it. And even then, my left hip was digging all the while into the seatbelt slot. So it was very uncomfortable the whole journey. It was like a 5-hour journey or less. 5 hours might be over exaggerating a bit, but it was about 3-hour journey there and back if you don't count the stops in between. But yeah, we did that. Then we went to Burger King, where was a stop at on the way to Whitby after we picked everyone else up. And I was okay with that and all that. But then one of the people actually said it was too cold. Now, I was boiling. It wasn't a warm day, but I'm always boiling. I'm always really warm and I don't like it. I can't stand the warm weather and all that. So the journey originally was okay. It was like 15 degrees out, and about 20 inside the vehicle in the coach. And then some people told the driver to up the temperature, so it was like 12 Celsius at the time, and it was double the amount. And it was like 12 to 15, 16 degrees, and it was inside the coach it was double that amount each time. So I was really annoyed, so to speak. Now, there was nothing I could do, really. They were cold. I wasn't. I was like a minority of one, probably. Most likely. But a way I found to cope it with is, and the same with the whole, I had the seatbelt dig into my kidney. And, not my kidney, my hip, I mean. And, was that I just put my music on and listen to it. Now, music's a way to so-called get away from the world. I listen to heavy rock. My OT says it's something to do with the beats of the sound. Like, it just relaxes me. I don't think it's the beats, because I do like the singing as well. But the heaviness of the heavy beat of it is pretty cool. So I just listened to that on the whole trip, on the way, all the way there, all the way back, and during when we were in Whitby, and it kept me going. Basically, by the time I arrived home, it was on 4%, so I did very well to do that and take some pictures that I'll probably be showing in the video once I'm editing it. Currently, I'm just talking to an Audacity project. But yeah, we did that. It was too warm. I'd already taken my coat off. Still too warm. So a way to fight back the meltdowns is mostly to just listen to music for me. I don't know what it would be like for others, but it could be ranging from something for playing a video game. So I bought my Nintendo 3DS. I never used it, but I could have played that and help get my mind off it. But I listened to music and I just turned the music up so I couldn't hear anybody else talking, or even my parents. I couldn't hear them talking. And I just listened to that and it relaxed me. So that's a good way to fight back the temptation of just giving up and not wanting to do anything else in once we get there. But we did that, and we took something called Whitby Tour Bus, which goes across the landmarks of Whitby, and we went on that all the way to Whitby Monastery, which is a big ruined out place that I'll send the pictures will be going up now probably, if I remember, in post edit. Or edit, I mean. And yeah, we were just, it was a foggy day. It was like haze from it was like haze, fog from the sea, and a bit of rain to drizzle to go with it. So we were just walking around the monastery. Now, something about me is I just can't walk. I never learned how to walk properly. I assume it's to do with my autism and the learning disability side of it, that I just never learned how to walk properly. So I really struggle with walking so much that I'm just a limping mess of a man by the point when I've walked a few meters, if I get really tired, because my heels start to ache and I get lactic acid, I think that's what it is, in my thighs, and it just kills, and I just can't walk properly. So I had another bit of a weird situation where we were walking around Whitby Abbey, and it was just the pain from the lactic acid and my heels hurting, is that I couldn't properly stand, I couldn't properly sit. I could properly sit, but I had to sit, I mean. So I was just sitting down most of the time in Whitby Abbey, and I managed to pass the temptation of just lying on the ground collapsing through exhaustion and ache, but I once again listened to my music, and the history of the Abbey was very interesting, so that was another reason it kept me going, just reading and listening to the history of the Abbey, because there's those like speaker things that you put your earphones in or headphones, or just listen to like a phone, and so we listened to that. And on the way back from the Abbey, we went on the coach tour again, because like I said, I can hardly walk properly, and I just moved all the way to by the coast, where there was a place called the Magpie Cafe, which a family member of mine said was the best fish and chip place in the whole of Whitby. Now, I'm not a fan of fish and chips. I'm a fan of chips, not that much fish, but I'm more of a chicken chips kind of thing. And the chicken has to have bread, a breaded batter, or batter itself, breadcrumbs or batter on the chicken, because I just can't stand it if it's all, well, not crispy, because that's another thing with my autism, the food kind of thing is bad. The only thing I really eat is chips, chicken nuggets, or chicken goujons, or chicken fillets that have to have a batter of some sort on it, or pizza, and the pizza has to just be cheese, which isn't a proper pizza. I'm told by Sebastian, who's a friend of mine, if you're new to this channel, who we run 6,000 years of history and gaming with, along with Marcus, who's another friend of mine. But yeah, we went there. I had chips and chicken fillets. I didn't enjoy it, But I coped with it. I didn't really mind that I was waiting for my parents to eat the dessert because I didn't have any. But I was okay with that. I coped with that. I think I coped with that. All the situations I had on the day, which was yesterday, dating it. Only really one stood out. Only that one stood out as not being something that could have turned the whole trip on its head. And then there was one that was really turned the whole trip on its head. But that was mostly from tiredness, if anything. So we went to Magpie Cafe. We had something to eat there. And then we walked back to the bus. Again, me having to stop every few hundred metres to sit down because my legs just couldn't cope. And I was aching and all that. Couldn't walk properly, limping all over the place. Didn't know what other people thought of me, but it was very across my mind that I must have looked weird, which I don't like. But we coped. We walked to the bus. We waited a while in the bus stop. The coach came. We got in, and then we drove back. Now it wasn't as. It was a bit cooler, so, and I was a bit colder, but it was about the same. It was just about a few degrees lower than what it was on the trip coming. So I was fine with that. I was fine with being that hot, that warm, or that cold. It was the right temperature for me, so I was okay with that. But when we dropped everyone else off, and then there was only one drop left. That was Derby, and the Derby trip. Once we got that, we were all okay. We got out, but a whole mess happened where I was overtired. I've been up since 10 to 5, which is very rare for me, to be honest. And if I do normally get up at that time, I'm normally in bed for 9 o'clock, and it was about nearly 10 o'clock, I say, if I remember correctly. But we got to Derby then. But no one had planned in case we needed to have a taxi. We thought there would be loads of taxis lining up on the high street, waiting to take people away from the bus, but there was only one, and that one drove off when we got to it. So I was overtired. I started to think, I don't want to wait around here. So I started to get a bit annoying. Well, not annoying, but a bit annoyed at things. Bit of a meltdown, and then all of a sudden, there was this. I forgot even how the argument went, but there was a bit of an argument. I got angry, and I said I didn't want to. This was a ruined trip, but we got the taxi. Ended up, and over the night, I felt, I shouldn't have said that. And I don't know, a way I could have done it was maybe turn my music up again a bit more, but it just didn't cross my mind that I could have done that. Now, the whole, when you get angry, count to 10 or you say something, that doesn't work for me. It just makes me more annoyed. Honestly, it does. It's never worked. Even from little, when I was told it at school, it just got me even angrier. So, yeah, that was a bit of a problem. But, yeah, I survived it. My legs are aching now. Tell you that much. It's the day after. I think I've said that already. But that was my experience at Whitby. I really wanted to do a face cam. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work. But this is going to be the first in the series where I'm talking about my experience as being autistic, and maybe even giving advice to people who want to know how to react better to someone who has autism, or just someone who has autism, seen this and thinks, I want to know how do you cope in certain situations, and hopefully I can say that. It's also the thing, autism awareness and all that, giving a rather range of depth on what it's like for autism. Because I don't know if you've seen it, but there's all those people who say stupid things on the internet, like you're just so autistic, that sort of thing. To be honest, I hate that sort of thing, but I've coped with it so far. I've done YouTube now on and off since the age of 16. I'm now 22. So there's a lot of things that could be better for people with autism. I actually just read a post on Facebook recently, shared by a friend, who mentioned that people are more scared of people with autism and mental disabilities more than people who have serious, like, say, get really ill and dying from an illness at a young age. Like the whole vaccine thing, coming back to that again, that people still believe that the vaccine for polio, I think, causes autism, and people still believe that. They do that. They just believe it, and they think it's better to not have the vaccine when the kid instead gets polio. And that's the whole persona around autism, is that it's worse to have than polio. And I'm hoping that in this way, I can easily, the video series, I make it sound more human to people, because people don't think they think it's different and they don't like it in some way. I just want to show it's as human as you or me, or me of course because I'm autistic, but as human as the average person who has no illnesses, no depression, no anything, to the person who has autism. But anyway, I think I've rambled on along. Apparently 22 odd minutes, nearly. So yeah, subscribe if you want more of this. Comment saying what you think. Hopefully this gets to quite a wider range of audience, because I just want to, like I've already said it, so I just want to bring it out to more people, what it's like being autistic. So if you like it, if you want to share it with others to get them more, to let them see it, please really do share it, because it just gets more people noticing it, and that's what I want in this video series, really. Not for money or fame or anything of that sort, but just because I want to help other people with autism. And yeah, you can comment, saying, and keep the comment section friendly. I'll be replying to as many as I can. No one ever reply to every single one, but say this gets 1 million views, I might not be able to do that in enough time. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Share, like, comment, maybe even favourite if it's that sort of thing for you, so you can come back at a future thing for insight. And if you want more of this, subscribe. But yeah, first person I'd like to thank is Lelujo. I'll link his channel in the description. He has a son who's autistic, and I actually followed him through his video game series, Football Manager. But he had I don't know, he had a vlog channel and all that, and it was just such a coincidence. I see so much in that kid, in me. I see in me, and him talking about his experiences being a parent with autism, being a parent of a kid with autism. I want to show what it's like. So he's got the parent side, I've got the actual kid side, so to speak. Even though I'm not a kid, but you get it. So I'd just like to thank him. His link will be in the description below to both his vlog channel and his gaming channel, so be sure to check it out if you haven't already heard of him. But anyway, this is Sam Hex. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Hex signing out.